Hi guys, Michael here, and today I've got an early release, early review of Excalibur Publishing's new title called Farming World. They were nice enough to let me have a copy in advance to give it a whirl and see what I think about it. So without further ado, let's jump into it and see what it does. We've got campaign mode, free play, and a tutorial. Now, I played around with it a little bit, but I think we'll go through the tutorial just to show you what it is. But we can pop into the campaign mode real fast, and you can see you've got different countries to choose from, and with each country has its difficulties and plus and minuses for soil quality, weather, crop growth, etc. So we will get into that probably at one point or another, but like I said, today I want to get into the tutorial first. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, now this is probably not your normal farming sim that most of you are used to if you play Farming Simulator 2013, Professional Farmer 2014, or any of the agricultural simulators. It is a nice relaxing game though. I do enjoy the music in it. Some of the quick things that I'd noticed looking at it earlier, that's as far in as you can scroll. I wish it was a little more detailed where you can scroll down, get right up close to the action, but unfortunately not. And that's as far out as you can go. So it does lack a little bit on the scrolling, in my opinion. But overall, the graphics are nice and clean. The interface is nice and clean. You've got your game options along the side. Then you've got your graphs and details up above. You've got your weather, your time, your speed controls, etc. We'll get all into all that during the tutorial. Another nice feature is you can move the boxes around that pop up around the screen, which comes in handy. Some of the things I don't like about it, like I said, the scrolling is one. What I don't like and what I would like to see in the future, hopefully it will come at one point or another, is the ability to use a mobile smartphone app with this game. Something like what Assassin's Creed's done with their shipping and stuff like that. That would be a nice little cool aspect to have. That way if you're at work or if you're on the go, you can still log in and do some stuff, maybe sell or buy tractors and so on and so forth, upgrade buildings, etc. That would be a nice cool feature I'd like to see implemented into the game. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So welcome to Farming World. Your goal is to turn and create a thriving agricultural company. To succeed, you will need to grow an assortment of plants, look after animals, and pay close attention to weather reports. You'll be able to buy or rent plots of land to expand your farm while purchasing buildings and vehicles to help with production and general farm work. Good luck. So let's get familiar with the game interface. On the left is the game menu. That's these buttons along the side here. The panels on the upper center of the screen will give you information on your current money, stars, storage space, and we'll tell you the time. That's all these here. In the upper right corner, you'll find the day and night disc. You can also pause and fast forward time using these buttons. On the left side, there are 3 buttons which you can use to bring up information about your land. You can hover your mouse over the buttons to receive information on what each button will do. So you've got your soil quality, which land you own, show hide information panels, jump to the player's headquarters, and jump to the AI headquarters. You'll find a log window at the bottom of the screen. Here you'll receive warnings and advice about your farm. If you click on any of the messages in the log window, the screen will move to that incident. Game controls. The left mouse button will let you select and deselect objects, click buttons, etc. The right mouse button will when held down will move the camera. The mouse will zoom in and out. Typical top-down games, scrolling games. When the game starts, you'll begin with a small village and a basic tarmac road. Please click the Rent and Buy Land button from the menu on the left side. So, that's what we're going to do here. A new window will open which will allow you to rent or buy property. To select your first field, you'll need to left click and drag the mouse. This will create a grid to show you the area you have selected. Once you've selected an area, the Rent Buy window will share information about the piece of land, including soil quality and price. If you try to select an invalid area, some of the squares of green will turn red, or the grid will turn red. After you select a valid area, please click the either Rent or Buy button. So what they're saying is if you click an invalid area, they turn red. If you select a valid area, then it turns white like that. So let's create a field about that size, and we will go ahead and buy it outright. For 5,760, you can see we've got 250,000. So we'll buy that. Congratulations, you have now bought your first plot of land. Please move the mouse over your newly acquired land and click on it. So let's slide this over here. You can find some useful information about your land which will let you check soil quality, the current water level, expected yield, and whether you have used organic or synthetic product to care for the land. On the right side there is a red button which you can use to terminate your rental contract or sell your land. That's this one here. And this will tell you your soil quality, which is up here, your water level here. This is the growing phases. Let's go ahead and pause that for right now. This will be the expected yield. This is automated watering, and this is watering that you can only do once a day. And these are the various stages. You've got plowing, fertilizing, seeding, and then several levels of pesticides, and then final harvest. With your plot of land selected, you'll see some control options. The first small button allows you to plow through your field. Please left click on the plow icon. So we'll do what they say. Here you'll get the farmer's window. So we'll slide this back over here. A window to the farmer center will open. From here you'll be able to select a vehicle to plow the field. You'll find some information on each vehicle, including speed, efficiency, and cost. Some vehicles, however, may be locked. In order to use them, you'll need to spend your earned bonus stars to unlock them. Hover over the button icons below the vehicles and choose the rent button for one of the vehicles. Now, this brings us to a topic of one of the things I kind of dislike. It's sort of like the Zynga games on Facebook and stuff, where you have to unlock certain features with either stars or money and so on and so forth like that. Now, from what I can tell, this game uses the star system, and I don't believe you have to purchase it anywhere. I believe it's just stars that you will earn from unlocking achievements and doing certain steps in the game. I know you'll get some stars when you do your first plowing, or correction, your first harvesting, and etc. So that's one of the things I kind of dislike, because you have to do a lot of things to progress and unlock, so it will take a lot of time, a time sink, I guess you would say. But overall, there's a lot of options you can choose from, which you'll see when we get into the actual seeding. It does have a lot of detail to it. So let's continue. So it said we can hover over. You'll see that this one will take 6 stars to unlock. It needs 4 slots in your garage to store it if you were to buy it. It's a plow, and its efficiency is 100%. And it goes down further, and then this one only requires 1 slot. It costs 10,000 to buy it outright. Plow, and it's 98% efficiency. However, as we're going to rent it, it only costs 1,000. So let's go ahead and rent that. Confirm it. And then once rented, the tractor will begin to work on your land. If you want to speed up the plow process, you can adjust the game speed. Now, this is where I would like to be able to zoom down in, to be able to get up and close to see what he's doing. But unfortunately, that's as low as we can go. So let's speed up time a little bit. Okay, so let's use some fertilizer. To do this, click on the second button on the land's control panel. Now, the steps are practically the same all the way through. It just goes on to different growth periods here. So now we're going to use fertilizer. Again, the window will come up. Now you've got your main menus, your sub menus, and then the sub menus will open up. So if we want to use synthetic, for example, or organic, we can switch to them. If we wanted to go to pesticides, animals, and so on, we'd select it from up here. So we'll go ahead and buy some organic fertilizer. We'll go ahead and rent the spreader, and we'll let that go. Again, we'll speed up time. And it says, I suggest you now click on the third button named the sowing and planting. Okay, this is where we're going to start planting now. So as you can see, you've got a large variety of seeds. I think the game boasts that it has over 30 different types of seeds you can plant. And it does have a lot, as you can see. Now, here comes another dislike. You can't use your mouse wheel to scroll in the game menus here. It will only affect the background, and you actually have to click and hold and drag or use the arrow keys. I wish that they would be able to, when you actually click on and open up a window, that your mouse wheel will revert to scrolling the menu there. Hopefully that will be implemented in a later patch in the game. That'd be a nice feature. It's just a little easier to navigate that way. So let's go on what they suggest. It says, once again, you are back in the Farmer Center, but now you'll be able to select seeds, plants, and trees. At the top of the window, there are subcategory buttons that will let you filter items, which we've already talked about. Every plant has a segmented area where you will be able to find important information, including price, soil quality, demand, and at what month the plant will begin to grow. So that's what they're talking about here. So soil quality for good growing is 3 stars. As you know, we had 5, almost 6 stars. So this would be good. It does in late August. As you can see, we're in February or we're going to be in March. Here in Germany where I live, this would be the 3rd of February. I know in the States this would actually be March 2nd. So it all depends on where you are. I'm assuming this is going to be most likely probably going to be the 3rd of February. So let's see what they say. Every plant, okay, we discussed that. The bottom section reveals information on the growing phases of the plant and what kind of weather conditions are required for it to grow. That's these here. So what they're saying is for seedling, it lasts for 30 days. It needs a sun rate of 3. The temperature, minimum temperature it can tolerate is 3 degrees Celsius. The optimal temperature is between 10 and 20. Maximum temperature can't go over 40, and a rain requirement is 1.3 millimeters a day. And then the different phases: bloom, ripen, and finally maturity. So you can see this is going to be a 30, 45, then another 135. So you're looking at almost 200 days from start to finish for almond trees. Okay, moving on. It says it can be quite daunting, but in the upper right corner you'll find Elroy, who will give you advice for just a little bit of money. Please click the button next to his picture to ask for advice. So we'll do that. And he wants $500 for a week, or 500 euros rather, for a week, which we'll do. After hiring Elroy, stars will appear on the bottom left corner of each plant. So that's these here. Fully preferred for growing, estimated yield percentage 97%, estimated quality percentage 22%. Depending on whether the star is filled or opaque is representative of Elroy's advice on what plants he recommends you to grow. Elroy's recommendations will last for 1 week, but you can hire him again after this period. For more information, you can hover your mouse over the star. Please select the vegetable subcategory and then choose cabbage. So we'll go to vegetable subcategory, and we want to find the cabbage. Did I go to vegetables? No, it's root. Vegetables here. And then cabbage. So we'll select cabbage. Choose an unlocked vehicle, which is here. Again, we'll rent, not buy. and let them go. Let's fast forward time. As you can see, the little cabbages are now planted. Okay, congratulations, you have sowed your first plot of land. To minimize the damage from pests, your plants, you can select, or you can use pesticides. There are two types, organic and synthetic. If you use synthetic pesticides, you lose your plant's organic status. This means it will sell for a lower value at the market. When your land reaches the seedling phase, please click the fourth button to use your pesticides. You can speed up the growing process to reach the state by increasing the game speed. So that will be this one here, the first stage of pesticides. So we'll speed up time. And this will be the growing phases here. So it's saying it's got 6 days left for sowing. Let's speed up time a little more. So now we're here. So we'll go ahead and use pesticides. We want organic. We'll buy it. Use the unlock vehicle just like every other menu that we went through before. And let's speed it up. Tutorial 38. You'll soon need to spray pesticides on your crops a second time once they reach the ripen phase. Please set the game speed to a maximum. Okay, so while we're going to wait, this is the one they're talking about, and the maximum is, or it will be done at ripen, which will be here. So we'll speed it up. Okay, your plants have now reached the ripen phase. Please click on the fifth button on your land's menu. Now, I don't know if this is a bug or if it's just part of the tutorial, but as you can see, you're not in the ripen stage. It's still only in the bloom stage. The ripen stage is still 5 days away. Like I said, I don't know if that's a bug or if it's just part of the tutorial where they're just speeding it up so you can go through it and see how everything's supposed to work. I'm assuming it's the latter. Okay, so we'll choose the organic again. We'll use the same vehicle again and we'll speed it up. There, let's finish it. It says sometimes you need to check your land's water level. Underneath the gold stars of the land menu there is a blue bar. This represents the current water level. That's this one here. You can water your territory only once a day. After planting, I suggest you check the weather reports from time to time to keep your plants hydrated. Now the weather report will be here. We'll get more to that in the tutorial later. Okay. Please click the watering button now. So we'll go ahead and use the water button. As you can see, you have filled the bar slightly. If this level drops to 0, you receive a warning message. So it's filled it all the way up. As you can see here, we're already starting to lose some crops. They're dying and withering. Now you have to wait a few days. Please set the game to maximum. So set it to maximum again. And you can see it's continuing. The water's dropped. Let's go ahead and water it again. Just keep it hydrated. Okay, now let's pause it. Now you can see we've got the harvest crop. Now the tutorial hasn't triggered yet for me to actually harvest, so I don't know if I'm supposed to wait for it to continue or if I can actually harvest it this time. So let's go ahead and harvest it. Actually, let's speed it up a little more, see if it will trigger, because it looks like it's still there. We go, now it's triggered. Okay, when you start a new game, you will begin with a garage, silo, and warehouse. Later on, you'll need to check how much free storage space you'll have before you harvest crops. Please click the harvest crop button. We also got the monthly summary. So we've earned no income. We've had 11,882 expenses for a total of a loss of 11,882, and we had 50 bonus stars, which you can see here. So your farm is okay. So we'll close that out. Now we'll hit harvest. Choose an unlocked worker. These are locked. You can see how much stars it would cost to unlock them, how efficient they are, and their speeds. So let's go ahead and take the basic group for 36, and you can see that that they're going to start walking now, and they're harvesting our cabbage. So let's bump up the speed. So you can see we had some crop damage out there we've lost. Okay, it says, good job. The workers have placed the goods obtained from harvesting into your warehouse. Every time you complete a harvest, you will receive one bonus star for each, or one bonus star for which you can use to unlock items in the farmer's market. Please click the market button on the left side of the screen. So this is the stars they're talking about. You can see that we've now went to 51. So if you get one for each time you harvest, it will take a lot of harvests to be able to build up to unlock some of this stuff. So it would take a lot of time into the game. So it says please click the market on the left side of the screen, which we'll do. Now this is the market window. From here you can sell your goods. There are two buttons on the top left side of the window. The first button lets you sell goods at the suggested market value, and the second button lets you sell goods on the private market. So this is just public, throwing it out there at suggested price. Here's if you want to try to get more money for your goods, you'd go to a private market and try to find a private seller. You can sort through your current goods by using the filter buttons at the top of the window. So if you're looking for fruits, vegetables, so on, are all, as you can see, we only have the cabbage, so it's quite easy. In the main market area, you can see up to 10 items of data at one time. So they're saying you can see up to 10 items through here at a time. That's when the filter will become useful, is if you have more than 10. Every row will reveal more information about particular products, including how much that item will sell per ton, and you can set the selling quality with the scroll bar. So this is the how much we have in storage. That's 23 1/3 tons. This is the product name. This is the if you have a private contract, which we'll get into later in the tutorial. This is the quality, so you can see it's excellent. It's an organic product, which means we'll get more for it as well. It's currently in our warehouse. This is how much we want to sell. This is the market price. So what they're saying is it's 940 euro per ton. And let's say we want to sell, I believe 2. Please set the quality of the cabbage to 2. So we bump it to 2 like it says. This is the sell price, the market price, and then click the sell button. Okay, that's what we've done. So we've sold it. You sold your first item on the market. Now let's check the private market area. Please click the button on the top left. So we'll go to private market now. Now here you can see you get two filters down here now, contracted and the opportunities. In the private market you'll find two new buttons, one of which will reveal your current opportunities and another which will show you all of your contracted items currently placed on the private market. In the private market, you are able to set the sale price of your goods. With this, you can receive a considerably higher profit, but you will not know when you will sell your goods. You'll need to hire Joanna, who will act as your market manager. She will locate buyers for your goods. She'll also take a fee out for every transaction she has made. Please hire Joanna by clicking the button in the top right corner. Okay, now set the quality of the cabbage to 2 again. Set a higher price with the scroll bar and then press the make contracts button. So what they're saying is make it to 2. We want to sell it to a higher price, so let's put it to 1,000. It looks like we can drag this as well. Yep, we can. So we'll put it at an even 1,000. Okay, and we will make a contract. As you can see, there's now new data in the quality contract column that shows how much the stock Joanna is looking to sell on private buyers. If you want to modify this contract, you'll need to select the contracted button, and please click the contracted button. So that's here. This is if we want to modify it. You can modify your contracted items quality and price from here. You can suspend your contract with Joanna at any time. Now it's time to purchase animals for your farm. Please close the market window and click on the farm center button on the left side of the screen. So we'll close this, come to here. Please select the buildings category, which we'll do. Please click the animal related subcategory, which is here. And now please buy the following building: pin for large animals, small. Make sure to place the building in a valid area. So pins for large animals, small, which is here. It's currently the only one we can buy. So we'll go ahead and buy that. It costs 800 euros. It adds a 30 capacity and it's animal related. So let's drop that right there. In the farmer's market, you can purchase many types of buildings, including garages, silos, warehouses, and more. Please close the farmer's center window and click the newly built animal pen. Okay, so we'll click the new built animal pen. Okay, let's buy some animals. Click the buy animal button. So we want to buy some animals. And it says buy some cows for your pen. Okay, you can see you got cattle, you got cow, and you got horse. Now, this is where we're going to have to use our stars for the first time. We've got to actually unlock the cows. So we'll spend 5 stars to unlock it. You can see they've dropped to 46. Now we have to actually purchase the cows themselves. So we had to use stars to unlock the category. Now we have to use money to buy them. So it says buy some cows for your pen. So you can see each time you buy, you're going to takes a requirement of 5. They're marketable after 10 days. They cost 600. They last for 50 lifetime days, and animals will produce this from time to time. So we'll buy them. Congratulations, you bought your first animal. Please increase the game speed to maximum and just wait a little while. So let's create it maximum, and you can see now that you got fodder and antibiotic mixture, organic fodder, repair fence, and clear pen. And you can see that the fodder level has dropped. On your buildings information panel, you can see that the animals have now reached a mature age. So the animals are infants here, and this is when they're mature, which is done. And then in 15 more days, it will go to old. So their fodder level has also decreased. In order to preserve your animals, please click the buy organic fodder button. So buy organic fodder. You can see it went all the way up to the top. You have now topped off the fodder levels. When your animals reach mature status, you can sell them on the market. Some of them can even produce other goods during their lifetime, like milk or eggs. After the end of the mature status, your animals will grow old, where their quality will deteriorate to their death. How sad. Please open the market window. Okay, so it's saying back to the market again. So we'll open the market. Your animals has a specific pin ID. Please use the scroll bar's plus button to sell just one animal. So we can see we've got cows and cabbage. So it's saying use the scroll bar to select one. We'll drop this down to 6. Okay, and sell one. We're going to sell it for 57 euro, which we've done. Please close this window and open the Farmer Center building to build a butchery. So now it's saying let's build a butchery. We'll go to buildings again, this time subcategory production plants, and we want a butchery. Butchery medium, we want a butchery large. So we have to use 20 stars this time to unlock our butchery. But we can process cattle, chicken, cow, duck, goat, geese, ostrich, pig, rabbit, sheep, and turkey. 20 stars, and it takes 18 hours to process. So we'll unlock it. Now we'll buy it for 25,000 euro. Buy. And let's set that right next to the, let's put it next to the animals. So we'll put it right there. Okay. Close the Farmer Center window and click the new building. So this is the new building. Then we want to press the set production and factory button, which is here. Set production and factory. In this window you can set the building to produce new goods. There is a scroll bar at the left side. Use this to choose from your raw materials. You can see all materials in this list that the type of factory can process, but you can select only what you have in your storage. So these are all that it will process, but you can only select what you have in storage, which is this. So we'll select that, and now it says we want to another scroll bar on the right side where you can choose what you want to produce. When you select an item, the other side will be filtered accordingly. So we selected the cow, and it means we can only produce beef. At the top of the window, you can see the raw material and product information along with the wastage factory, which can be found above the arrow. So this is the quality, this is the ton, and when we select this, we can see we're actually going to have a wastage of 0.8, and we're going to get good quality beef. For now, choose your cow on the left side of the screen, select beef on your final product. Once this is complete, you can either click the icon on the bottom right of the window. Here, that's actually bottom left. Bottom right will cancel. You can use the click on the icon on the bottom right of the window to cancel production. Okay, so that is correct. And or click the set production icon on the left to set the production. Click that button now to produce the beef. So that's what we're doing. As you can see, the arrow of the factory information panel changed to green. You can also turn the factory on and off and set the production facility to auto activate when your conditions are met. When the factory produces something, you obtain a star. You can collect them from the building's information panel and use them in the farmer center to unlock more items. Okay, so you can see the arrow turned green. This is where we're talking. You can turn it on and off, or you can set the auto activate functions. Now let's talk about contracts. Please click the contracts button on the left side of the screen. So if you remembered, we'd put 2 cabbage up on contract. This is the contracts window. At the moment it is completely empty because we have not yet undertaken any contracts. The 4 buttons on the top of the window allow you to filter between active, available, closed, and achievements. Okay, that's these here. Please click on the available. These are available. So it says our partner is looking for a reliable producer to deliver products. He'll pay $1,000. It lasts for 180 days. And he wants 2 tons of cabbage. And we can already accept that. Okay, so we've already met that. Please click to show active. That's this one. So we've selected a contract to supply this provider with 2 tons of cabbage. Okay, now we can complete it because we do have 2 tons of cabbage. Okay, let's switch to the closed contract to check the progress. Okay, we met at that. You can see we got a now green check, which means we've completed this. And we can finally go to the last achievements. Now these are achievements that you can make, which will give you stars. And as you can see, we have 3 that we can now do. Your money's over 50,000, your money's over 100,000, your money's over 150,000. So let's complete these. And you can see our stars jumped up accordingly. So we went from 36, I believe it was, up to 86, or 26 to 86. Okay, it says you are able to check the progress in your achievements from this page. Whenever you fulfill an achievement, you can claim a reward. Please close the window and click the statistics menu on the bottom left. So that's here. In this window, you can see the last 12 months statistics. This data will help you run an efficiently economical farm. So you can see the land, expenses, and income. So you see we had 1,245 income. These are our expenses, and this is the land. You got rented land, market finance, and a whole slew of statistics you can go through. Okay, after you have checked the statistics window, please close it and select the bank. Okay, so now we go to the bank. Here you can see the amount of a loan. If you want to borrow a loan, you can adjust this. The credit period, the installment, how much you're paying a month, and how much you're going to actually repay, the whole bit. So this is the bank window. You can borrow money and repay existing loans here. Sometimes it can be very favorable for you to borrow money to kickstart your farm, but you'll need to be cautious of the repayment plan you select. Please click the accept loan button. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to borrow 10,000. Now it's time to check the weather. You can check the forecast by clicking the weather forecast button at the top of the screen next to the game time. So that's here. We looked at that briefly before. So you are now in the weather forecast window. This window has 4 segmented areas of information. At the top, you can subscribe to Sarah the meteorologist's weather report. Depending on how much you spend and what you subscribe to, the weather forecast accuracy can vary. So it's 4 segments it was talking about. You got your top section here, which is your subscription level. You've got your next here, which is your daily, weekly, monthly weather report. Here is the overall, I believe it's going to be, and then there's any weather warnings. So this part of the window shows you the next week's weather data. From here you're able to check rainfall, temperature, and how many hours of sunshine we'll have. This is very important when choosing a plant to grow. So this was today. There was no rain. This was the minimum temperature. This was the average temperature. This was the maximum temperature, and that's how many hours of sun we had. Right now this is inaccurate, and it's clear because we haven't subscribed to anything. So, and this would be the next day, 2 days out, 3 days out, etc. The third segment will let you check the monthly summary of weather data for the next 12 months. If you subscribe to a monthly accurate weather forecast, your first month's information will be accurate. And the last section provides you with weather warnings that will affect your crops. For example, your crops could be under attack from frost, or perhaps you'll suffer a sudden change in temperature that can affect the growth of your plants. Let's subscribe to the weekly forecast with high accuracy by clicking the button on the top of the window. It costs us $1 or €1 a day. As you can see, the data has now changed and you received a little more information. Please close this window. So for today, you can see then this stayed pretty much the same, but it actually gave us 1 more hour, and it's now accurate. And you can see this is what it's going to be for tomorrow. So tomorrow, again, no rain. It's going to be a low of 15 Celsius, an average of 18, a high of 22 with 9 hours of sunshine. Please close the window. At the end of each month, you'll see a monthly summary window. Now the tutorial will fast forward 1 month in time to show you the monthly summary screen. So that's back to here. Here you can see vital economic information about your farm. You also can see your budgetary change from last month and see some suggestions to help you improve your farm further. When you're ready, please close this window. Okay, so you can see this was our income, this was our expenditure, this is what we've lost. So we lost $15,333 for the month. Or this is total, this is for the month, I'm assuming. And this is how many stars we gained. And it says our farm is okay. So we'll close this. Congratulations, you have just completed the tutorial. Push the next button and I shall drop you back to the main menu where you can select the new game in campaign mode. Okay guys, so let's discuss what we've seen. Farming World, it's not your typical simulator. I can see there is simulator aspects. You have changing seasons, different months, different equipment you can purchase, buildings, plants, trees, etc., animals. So there is a simulation aspect to it. Some of the things that I liked the graphics on it. For what it is, it's got very nice clean graphics. The interface is fairly clean and intuitive. It's easy to use. I would like to see more scrolling features. This comes into the list of what I don't like. I don't like the levels of zoom on it. I would like to get right down to ground level. That would add a nice immersive element to it, make it a little more simulation in my view anyway. I don't like let me get my thought here. I don't like the star levels where you have to gain stars by doing lots of chores, getting stars built up, and then unlocking more equipment. And obviously the bigger items will take more stars. That means a lot of grinding possibly of lower end stuff to be able to save up the stars to get the item unlocked. Then once you've unlocked it, then you've got to spend additional money to actually purchase it and own it. That seems kind of counterproductive in my opinion. It should just be money outright then. I don't see why you would have to unlock it with stars. But maybe once you start the campaign, that'd actually be a good thing. Time will tell, I'm assuming. I did like the music on it. It's fairly decent music. I normally don't play games with music. I prefer to listen to the ambient sounds and so forth. Other than that, I think it's a great game. I think it'd be a nice time killer for, like, if you're watching a movie or listening to music or something, you just want to kill, 5-10 minutes or 20 minutes. It'd be a nice distraction if you're waiting for something to download, for example. I don't know how much replayability it will have. I do enjoy the tutorial. I've played it twice now. I do enjoy it. I'm looking forward to actually playing a full campaign game to see how that goes. I'll probably do an episode on that in the next few days. But right now, I think we're going to leave it there. I'd like to give it a rating. And mind you, this is only my opinion on it. I mean, opinions are going to vary greatly across the spectrum. But out of 10 stars, I would say this is a 7. It's a solid build. I haven't encountered any bugs, no crashing. Unless, like I said, the only bug you could probably attribute it to would be the growing phase for the one plant. Like I said, I don't know if that was a bug or if that was just part of the tutorial. Once I get into the game campaign, I'll know more, an answer to that. So until then, guys, thank you for joining. If you like it, please let me know. If you'd like to see more of this, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll start a Let's Play series on that. I'd like to thank Excalibur for letting me have an early release of this and let me try it. And until then, guys, next time, have a great day. Bye.